because I'm really a loner. Like before I met my wife, it was like I'm just a loner, so I'm okay with that. A lot of people aren't, and I feel like that that exposed a lot of people during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So
It's
yeah.
true. I do want to take it back to the East Coast a little bit.
Hmm.
Virginia, North Carolina. Uh,
Hmm.
what do you think made you successful as a young basketball player?
Probably my upbringing and just having like a great support system. I have, man, my family is great. Um,
You're talking like mom and dad and brothers.
so like when they say like a village raises a kid like that, I'm a true testament of that. I lost my mom at a young age, and my aunt, my grandparents, they pretty much just gave everything up in DC and came and raised me. So uh, just remembering the good times with my mom and the things that how hard she worked, that really played a part in how she carried herself with people and things like that. I feel that played a huge part. And also, um, you say the word sacrifice a lot, but I don't think my grandparents or my aunt felt like they sacrificed anything. So I feel like if you love something enough, it's not considered a sacrifice. And I kind of took that along with me, and also understanding I felt like nothing was as hard as losing my mom. So if I went to college or went to a new school like Laurinburg in North Carolina, it's like nothing is as hard as that. And that was it. Like that just kind of set it apart for me.
And how old were you when that happened? If you don't mind me asking.
When I was 10,
10.
9 or
Wow.
10, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
And those words of you saying, nothing gets worse than that.
yeah,
That for anyone who's lost a parent, you know exactly what that means. Like
yeah,
you've seen heavy. You've looked at life a different way. The death has
yeah,
made you look at a whole person's life a different way.
yeah,
It's, and I can't imagine processing that at 10, you
yeah.
know.
And I went through it a lot as a kid, as far as like trying to understand what was going on, because like that's all I knew. It was just me and my mom. She was a single parent. I'll see my father here and there, just randomly. But my father and I have a closer relationship now. Don't talk as much as I w- I would want to, but that's a whole nother thing. And they said I smiled a lot before having, and then after that, it was just just a kid trying to figure out like what's going on. Um, I didn't want to get too much closer to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
that's when I started becoming a loner a little bit. So
Right. Right. That's heavy. Just like, yeah, you lost like not only your mom, but it's like that was your person.
yeah,
And as a
yeah,
young
that's
person, like
for sure.
that's, you know,
Yeah,
so
like like if uh, like it was rough. It was rough, but my family was there, and like my cousins are very unselfish because like they had to share their parents with me. You know what I mean? And and I appreciate them as well. For sure.
and you even talked about their sacrifice and to understand that not, not
Yeah.
even just now, but probably as a kid too, like,
Yeah.
a
For
lot of
sure.
people wouldn't realize that you're not a burden, like you say, but
Mm.
you are an impact. Like,
Yeah.
their life is changing and they're
Yeah.
doing it because they love you and that's the right thing to do. And, they wouldn't have it any other
Exactly.
way, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And like me and my wife was having like this conversation, and our kids are embarrassed to like their parents, or they come and drop off the lunch or something like that. Like
Yeah.
my aunt, she could honestly come and eat lunch with me and at school. Like I didn't care.
Yes.
Like I just know that this person is here for like she's done everything for me. Like why why would I be
Mm.
embarrassed for that?
Hmm.
Like if you're embarrassed by my aunt, then you don't need to be around me. And
Man.
like that's how I just said it. You know what I mean? I just set it apart from that. But
Man, I can't relate to that
yeah.
anymore. Like I don't have much to say because I'm like You know, I get that so much. I was that person, you know. You ride so hard for that person that, like, you know, life changing. Shout out to them. Shout out to them for coming through.
Yeah, my family is huge. They play a huge part in that, man. And where I'm from is just really small town, and you know, people are kind of like scared to leave, if you will. Like, and my aunt was that person who's like, no, it's a big world out there, and you're gonna see it. And I appreciate her every day. I thank her every day. Whenever I get a chance, like, it's just who knew? Like, I never would have, you know, I never thought I'd see places in the States as far as like North Dakota, South Dakota. I never thought basketball would take me there, but I definitely didn't think it would take me anywhere overseas.
What took you to LSU?
I got the LSU from Las Vegas tournament. I played with Richmond Squires, Tony Squire. Shout out to him. I just started talking to him on IG, like randomly, like a couple weeks ago. But it's like a tournament in Vegas. I think that huge one, the 64 tournament or whatever it is. And I think LSU, a lot of teams were coming to see my teammate at the time, Sean Taggart, who ended up in Memphis. And I think he just had like a bad game or something like that. And I really remember it like it was yesterday. And we played against like this really tall Middle Eastern kid. Like he was like 7'3". And I just remember the guy, like it was a little piece, like a ring on the net was hanging down. This man, like seriously, just stood there, like taped the net back around it. I was like, bro, we're not going in the paint today. So jump ball starts. I hit I think 4 threes in a row. And it just kind of took off from there. And then Tony said he walked to the bathroom, and LSU recruiter at the time was Butch Pierre. And I guess he like just yelled like, Chris Johnson, like, you know, while he was like in the stall, like use the bathroom. And it just took off from there. And then yeah, they got me into LSU. I mean to Laurinburg, which is in North Carolina, the institute, the prep school I went to in North Carolina. I went there and prepped for a year, and then went to LSU. Just that one game got me to LSU.
Wow, that's awesome. Those threes came in handy that day.
Oh man, like it was just lights out that day, right? For sure.
Second all-time leader in block shots, behind some guy I've never heard of, Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know. I think he might even, actually, now that I think, might be right behind me.
Yeah, right behind you.
What is the best block you can remember in your career, and what made it so great to you?
My career, probably in the NBA. It's not a block. It's the 5 blocks I had against the Spurs. I don't think I saw the floor like a month before that, for like a full month. And I just, coaches kind of wanted to test the temperature a little bit to see where I was. And I just went there and got like 5 blocks and pretty much just took over the game that way.
Man, who were those blocks on? Do you remember?
Nah, I don't remember. No, it wasn't on Timmy, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
I don't think he played that game, but I think he was injured that game. But no, I can't remember exactly who. It might have been like Aaron Baines or somebody like that, like a young Aaron Baines.
Wow, that's funny.
We're back on Game Time. Ricky Rubio and the Wolves hosting Manu Ginobili and the Spurs. No Tim Duncan, no Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs. Didn't even travel for this game, out with sore knees. Nikola Pekovic and Andre Kirilenko out with the Wolves with injuries, and Manu Ginobili scoops it home. San Antonio looking good, up 21-9, but back comes Ricky Rubio.
Nice move by Rubio, getting a chance to go down the lane. The use of the drive looked like his knee is a little better, Rick.
Rubio probing baseline behind his back to Derek Williams, plus the foul.
It's a nice finish there.
And an assist, Dwayne.
That's right. Go ahead. Right in the paint. Finish right over top of him.
Wolves within 2 as Williams missed the free throw. Dante Cunningham now the offensive rebound out to J.J. Barea off the swing from Alexei Shved, and Barea knocks it down. Minnesota takes a 30-28 lead. Watch Chris Johnson with the block.
Go get it. Go get it.
That's nice timing.
That was nice. Get that out of here.
And it leads to this. Alexei Shved scooping it home. Spurs held to a season-low 10 points in the second quarter. Minnesota built a 12-point lead. Then Smitty's J.J. Barea lobbing to Chris Johnson.
Doing a good job, Chris Johnson, moving out the basketball. And don't do it like that, young fella. Just grab it out of the air, snatch it with one hand, and put it in.
That looked like JaVale McGee a little bit right there.
Yes, it did.
Rubio, end of the first half, takes the inbound. Dwayne's going to beat the buzzer.
All by himself, right down the middle. Couldn't stop him at all.
The Wolves, believe it or not, up 15 at halftime. Manu the miss, Rubio the rebound, and he's going to stop, pop, and drop. 19-point lead for the Wolves. First NBA triple-double for Ricky Rubio. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists.
I like Lexi Shved. Wow, and look at Johnson, and also like Rubio in together. Both guys with great size. Both guys can pass the basketball and not afraid to have a little fun. Rubio.
A double behind
Don't
the back?
do it to him, Rubio.
He did it to him.
Yes, he did. Double behind the back. Give it to him.
Chris Johnson, by the way, 6 points, 6 blocks, 6 rebounds. A nice symmetrical line for Chris Johnson as the Wolves get a feel-good win over the Spurs, 107-83.
Is there an art like to going for a block? Is it mostly timing? Do you leave your feet a lot? You probably don't have to leave your feet all that much.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're the second one. It's a lot of timing. It's also knowing your personnel as well. Because in college, it was way easier for me to get blocked. Way easier. Guys were just coming towards me, trying to dunk. So much easier. Like now, guys working on floaters. So you kind of have to beat them to certain spots, or you can't get it, you got to alter it. So it's definitely an art that goes into it. Definitely art for sure, and it's pretty much everything for sure.
So you have your career at LSU. You do your thing. What did going undrafted mean to you at the time? And then looking back, what does it mean to you now? Over 10 years later?
It was rough. And, I really didn't want to have a party or family around, but my family came anyway. When I drafted, it was more like, what's next after that? I was mad for maybe a few days, but it was more like, what's next? Can I get in the summer league, or pretty much just what's next? And now it's more like not really a chip on my shoulder, anything like that. It's just more like anybody who in the same situation, just use it as fuel to be able to just go on your path through this whole journey to whatever it is that makes you happy at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's going to be a learning tool for my kids to where, it's going to be some bumps in the road, but at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy. And that's what this life is about for me, to be honest. And just having that support system at that time, it really helped a lot. So just having that, I feel like I can do anything, to be honest.
Yeah, it's got to be just, it's so interesting to me to talk to athletes because they're supremely talented. You're not a a great accountant, young great accountant, you know,
exactly.
that's not getting drafted a lot of times. Like if you are as skilled as you are to be able to be a Division I basketball player, excelling as a Division I basketball player, like a lot of times, I'm not saying other people don't face adversity in their life, but there is a lot of, I don't know if it's self-checks or like reality checks or bigger challenges, I guess, that you're going for. And with bigger challenges come, you know, learning curves. And if it was easy, everybody would be in the NBA.
For sure.
So it's just always interesting to me.
Yeah. And I think like most of the time is like the guys feel like they let somebody down or they're not somewhere where people think that they should be. I remember a reporter asking me like, am I embarrassed that I didn't stick with like a second 10 day or something like that? I'm like, no. Like I got a taste of the league, and not a lot of people can say that.
Right.
Not a lot of people can say that they've done these things. So like, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to control what you can and just bring a different attitude and energy to it.
Yeah, a lot of times people forget that athletes are people, and it's
sure.
like it sounds different than what it really means. You know, like when you really boil it down to say, the thing for me I think about is people thinking, oh, you should take less money to stay with this team. You know, you kind of have that sports mentality, but when you're in your real life, it's not being selfish, it's not being greedy, anything like that. But you're probably gonna make as much money as you can, you know, and things like that, and just the way people think about athletes, and it's just funny to me. It's funny to me.
Like you can't go through anything. It's weird, man. And like taking less money, like you're helping a billionaire.
Right.
By taking less money, you know what I mean? Like you got that's a millionaire helping a billionaire take less money.
Yeah. That money's not going to
exactly.
Yeah. So it's what was unexpected to you about playing in the league, getting your taste of the league?
Man, actually coming in was a surreal experience. Came into training camp with the Celtics, 10-11. I just remember it was like they were saying we were going to play pickup. I'm just thinking it's going to be camp guys, and so I'm in the corner like stretching, and then I just look over and I see Paul Pierce come out. I was like, all right, they didn't say he was going to be here today. So it's like, all right. Like I'm deep down, I'm super excited about it. It's like I'm seriously nervous now. So then we look over again, see Jermaine O'Neal come out, Shaquille O'Neal.
Wow.
Which I see him every summer at LSU. He always comes back. So I wasn't too excited about him. So, but and then you see like Ray Allen come out, and I was like, bro, like what is going on here? And anybody who knows me, Kevin Garnett's my guy. Kevin Garnett's the guy. It's like him and Marcus Camby. And then like I kind of look up and I see the answer shoes, and then I see like the knee sleeve. I look up KG. Wow. And I'm like, this is the first time I'm like starstruck, Jay. Like my mind's like racing right now. I'm just like, everybody who's on my wall as a kid, my whole wall is like surrounded by pictures. Like you can't see paint. Everybody who's on my wall is right here. That was my first NBA experience. And then like my first year, like KG and Marcus Camby were my vets. I'm like, bro, I can die right now. Like I'm good. Like this is this is what it is. And having KG telling me like, make sure I'm on a 10-day. KG's telling me like, make sure you're the second one to jump. Know your personnel and things like that. And like to be able to see them work every single day, that's what helped me a lot professionally. And that's what I mean when I was a late bloomer, like seeing KG get up extra shots after they're jogging, they're staying on top of the things that they need. They don't need a coach telling them what to do. Seeing Ray Allen do push-ups before each shooting drill, like, then just bringing something new to the table, bringing young guys in to shoot with them. You got KG rebounding for Rondo and Glenn. Like, it was just different. It was just different seeing that. And also just him having the time to just talk to me on a 10-day. Like, he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and that was huge for me. That was huge for me.
I can't even imagine the butterflies you can have like times a million. And then the sport you probably want to be playing the least with butterflies, you know, is basketball, at least to me.
You know, and going up against like Tim Duncan, I had to guard him a couple of times, and him beat me down the floor, and him like making smart plays and like wearing people down, playing against Kobe.
Wow. Things
like that, like just stuff like you just dream of as a kid, and like it was just unreal for sure.
Is there a certain skill that you saw with most players that were, you know, the Tim Duncans, the Kobes, the KGs that you were, you know, in awe of? Or, you know, whether it be like footwork or vision or the mind or the work ethic, obviously probably has to be there.
It's a lot, man. So I'll break it down. So with KG, it's more energy. You're hearing him. You're hearing him on the defensive side. He's yelling everything. Like, man, it was just beautiful to watch. He's a great mind. He's always prepared. It's just work ethic for all of them. I see Paul Pierce, like he'll play ones before practice, like you just get warmed up. Like, I've never seen that. I've seen a lot of guys like kind of save themselves for practice. I didn't see and he's in the post, like he's trying to post perk up. Like, yeah, I've never seen anything like this. So like it was like a whole new world. So like and seeing Kobe get up shots in a full sweat. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you hear a lot of crazy Kobe stories about like I had like just certain things. Like I wish I experienced more. Will Conroy got some real big stories of Kobe. That's his time with the Lakers. Yeah, hit Will up with those.
Man, but I forget that he played with the Lakers. I just remember him with the Timberwolves for some reason. That's the image in my mind.
No, he got some stories about Kobe. Great stories. You see him getting up shots, just working on small things, his footwork. You know, I was there with B. Roy. Like, he'll work on certain things. He was injured, but like you can still see it. I was with him in Portland. I was with LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, he was just starting to come into his own at that time.
Mm-hmm. Baseline turnaround, unstoppable.
Baseline turnaround. Like, he doesn't even move his hips, bro. Like, he doesn't bend his hips. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And just seeing like Tim Duncan, like, yeah, he moves slow, but he calculates the game. Like, he understands like when guys are tired. He took off on me one time, got an open layup. I'm subbed out the next play. Like, yeah, small things like that. Like, they're just like, it's just small things like that that just kind of wowed you. Yeah, man, it's just a lot of work ethic. And I was in camp with LeBron when he went back to Cleveland, and like just seeing him think the game, and he's just on the fly. He's just making certain plays. He's like, how the hell you see that? Like it's just, it's just different, man. I've experienced D Wade in camp in Miami. Like, it's like, and even guys like Birdman, like you just see him like just killing guys in sprints. Like, you'll never think Birdman is like just
right
1 or 2 in sprints. Like, you'll never think like, oh, like and seeing Chris Bosh and how he works, and he started like getting his 3 around that time. That was, man, the NBA was insane for me.
I can't even imagine
like
that.
Looking back on it now, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole book you can write on that, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And it's so interesting that you hear this consistently too. Like when you really talk to people on the inside, that work ethic and that extra drive is what set people apart.
Yep.
Like, and that's a decision, and it's a hard decision because it's, you know, they're sacrificing things in their life. They're starting at basketball probably and working their way out. Do you have any insight on why that's, you know, why that isn't more common? Or it is, like, not to say players aren't working hard because you're in the NBA, but maybe it's just like, I don't know, a superhuman work ethic that can push you 5 degrees, 10 degrees above like your fellow NBA counterparts.
Yeah. I just feel like it's probably different reasons for certain guys. I was watching an interview with like Kobe saying like what made him kind of go was knowing that it was a family or a kid that probably see him once live. And that's what made him play through injuries. Like you'll never think of anything like that. You never think like it was like him and Jordan that said that. Like I don't know. I feel like it's just certain things that make people tick.
That's a great answer. That's
whether it's like greatness or if it's your family or you just want to be the right example for where you're from. I don't know. I just feel like it's different for everybody. The Rip City fans were like some of the best fans. You know what I mean? Like it was like it's hard to explain. Like you have to experience it.
Because you would think, like me coming from the Midwest, you know, I'm like, all right, Midwest fans are gonna go harder and stuff. Portland fans are awesome because, you know, Seattle not having a team, that's where I was for 10 years, going down and seeing those games and being amongst those people. They're smart. They're enthusiastic. They know the game. You know, they're not crude in any way. You know what I mean? Like respectful. Cheer the hell out of you.
Them, like, for sure. Like I appreciate it. And the best part was I was like in Best Buy in Portland one night, and one lady like just walks up and was like, "Hey, you're Chris Johnson." I was like, for you to know me, you know what I mean? Like, you are a true fan for sure. Like, you're a true Blazer fan. Like, I'm not a household name. Like, I'm like at the end of the bench. For you to point me out at Best Buy,
that is awesome.
Like that says a lot about them. And but like my time in Portland was awesome. Like I loved it. Nate McMillan, like he gave me an opportunity in the playoffs. Whether he wanted to or not, I don't know. I just know that it was actually it was against the championship Mavs team in Dirk and them.
Wow.
LA went to the bathroom, which he kind of did every game.
Okay.
He just kind of had to use the bathroom, like just randomly. And
is that all that uncommon? Not to interrupt for players in games. It is pretty uncommon.
I've never seen that. Like, but he did it a lot. Like he had to use the bathroom. So Nate McMillan was like, he's looking down the bench. LA. No LA. So like he's like looking around. CJ, let's go. I'm like, what? this is like game 3. They already up 2-0. This is like game 3. I'm like, okay, let's go. I don't think I really had time to think anything, to be honest. Like I think I probably sprinted into the game. I ended up getting like a crazy block against Dirk. Like he like the only way I got it. he faked the one legger and then like went through. Got it. I wish you could see the clip. I'm running like Usain Bolt down the other end. Knowing nobody's gonna pass it to me. I'm running so fast. There's no way anybody can pass it to me or I can make a play off of that. I just sprint. Boom. Gone.
Because they have the big team in there. Nowitzki to the middle. Finger roll. Johnson, another block. Watch this block.
That's a good block. It's on its way out.
But like the fans are just going crazy at this point. And then I get like another block against JJ Barea, and it kind of like changed the whole dynamic of the game. And we end up winning. And then like I just think like first of all, Nate for putting me in there. And second of all, LA for using the bathrooms. I probably wouldn't have got it anytime in that playoff for sure. And I actually started playing. I played like the next game, and that's when B. Roy went off. If you remember that game.
Mm-hmm. What was it? I don't even remember.
Game 4. That's when B. Roy was like in the playoffs in 2011. He just went off in the second half. Like we were down by like 20. B. Roy, like it was like the middle of the third. Like he just started to take over the game like slowly, and like he just took over the game, and we came back and won. Like I haven't seen a performance like that. Like to single-handedly just put his handprint on the game like that. I've never seen anything live like that. That was great to see.
And to have, like you say, see it from your perspective, get to hear the huddles in between. Are you like not trying to talk to him? You're not trying to break that bubble of just being so in the zone.
Yeah,
like...
I'm just out of the way. Like I'm the guy at the end of the bench. So like, let's just say like I end up saying something to B-Roy and he goes cold. Like who knows? Like who knows? But like at the end, like everybody just jumped on him. It was like, and it was kind of like he was struggling with injury that year, and defense was playing them differently and things like that. So like to see him take over the game like that after everything he was going through that year, like that was really cool to see, and for him and the confidence as well.
You talked about the playoffs. What was the difference for you? Did you feel a difference in everything? For me watching, I can see a complete feel difference in the game and importance and stakes and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the same game, but.
Yeah, no, it's guys are going harder. Things are way more physical. Rip City was rocking. Dallas was rocking. Like it was just, it felt like the microphones are louder. It feels like I don't know, man. It was just because like one mistake at any time could change anything. Like you just never know. Like you never would have guessed like my 2 blocks would have changed, or a certain shot set something off in B. Roy to where he just takes over the game. Like
right.
You just never, like anything can happen in those moments of the playoffs. Yeah, it was unreal, man. Like it was just beautiful, like to just be a part of something like that. Like watching as a kid and just, you know what I mean? Like
right.
It was,
like coming from a small town, taking it back.
Exactly. And like you got your family watching you, and like and just thinking about it now, like it just, yeah, like it was crazy. Crazy to experience that.